Starladden, and I'm the administrator of Temple Emanu-El's Torah School. And today we're going to learn how to make Hamantashen dough for about 40 cookies, which is something I've never done before because for the last 12 years, I've been making enough dough at one time to make about 400 to 500 dozen cookies. So today, we're going to make a small batch of dough, and it's my first time too, so we're going to learn how to do this together. So today, these are the ingredients that we need to get together. We're going to need 1 3/4 cup sugar, 1 1/3 cup butter, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup water, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, and 4 to 5 cups of flour. You will also need something to mix the ingredients together, like a beater or a mixer, or a large spoon. A spatula will be helpful, and a large bowl. So the first thing we're going to do is cream our butter, which means we're going to get it nice and soft so that we can add the other ingredients to it. It's best if you leave your butter out long enough to come to room temperature. So we're going to put that in the bowl, and we're going to use our beater to start getting that nice and soft. And it's going to take me a little while because it wasn't at room temperature. After the butter has softened a little bit, then it's time to add your 1 3/4 cup sugar. I'm not going to do it all at once because I don't want to make a mess, so I'm going to add a little bit and then I'm going to mix that in. You're going to want to mix this for quite a while to get the graininess of the sugar and the butter to be smooth. So you don't want it to be grainy anymore. So I've mixed that for about 2 minutes. I did have to scrape down the sides a couple times, and I've got it nice and smooth. I will say it's probably easier to do this in an electric mixer if you have one, but it's perfectly okay to do it this way. Get the butter and sugar creamed, it's time to add your eggs. So I'm going to add my 2 eggs. Be careful not to get any shells in there. I'm going to beat the eggs in with the butter, making sure to scrape the sides. Get that all mixed in together. As soon as we get the egg incorporated, we can add our water. And our 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, I have this pretty well beaten together, but I'm looking at this much flour and this much butter, water, vanilla, egg mixture, and I'm realizing I didn't pick a big enough bowl because it's my first time doing this too. So I'm going to quickly switch this to a bigger bowl before I add all this flour because I'm seeing that doing it in this small bowl will be a disaster. Okay, so now I have a bigger bowl, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the flour about 1/2 cup at a time to incorporate it. One thing that I have learned from making the large batches of dough is that you can, from year to year, depending on the humidity, the amount of flour we use can be ranged about 4 pounds. So that's why we say 4 to 5 cups, because we don't know how much flour it's going to take to make this form into a ball of dough. So here we go. And that's why we only added a little bit of a time. As you saw, the flour will puff up and make a big mess. So if you dump it all in here at once, you're going to end up with flour everywhere. So I'm going to just be adding a little bit at a time, get it incorporated in there, and then add a little more. Okay, I've added about half the flour, and as you can see, it's still pretty goopy, and it hasn't formed a ball yet. So I'm just going to keep adding flour and mixing until this congeals into a ball of dough. Okay, I used all 5 cups of flour, and the dough is still pretty sticky, and my handheld mixer beater wasn't strong enough to deal with how thick the dough became. So the last half a cup of flour I did have to knead in with my hands, but now I have a nice solid ball of dough that we can transfer to a floured surface and roll it out to make Hamantashen.